Okay, so we're gonna start with the first question. What was your reaction of the discussion today?
So we had the opportunity quite a few years ago to come in and meet with Jamie and her class and give them some overview of under seepage and through seepage and slope stability, and give them some of the technical attributes of, what happens with some of these levee systems and the aging infrastructure. And we've seen the class more and more involved. And obviously you have that evolution of students, so some have since graduated, but it's been phenomenal. And I think the film that they put together really says it all. I think if they can push that and continue to discuss with their congressional representatives, the government, the local community, that's really the route that they need to go. And coordinating with the local sponsors, the levee districts, when we come in to give them sometimes bad news about deficiencies that we found on the levee system. It's not always taken easily. It's difficult when they're operating and maintaining a levee system, and they're doing an excellent job. But every time you come in, you're going to find deficiencies. There are a lot of recurring things that happen every year, regardless of whether they're staying on top of depressions and ruts and animal burrows and slope stability. There's always going to be something that they're going to have to address. They've been very proactive, and I think the students, just the whole initiative that they have is phenomenal.
Okay. And in the discussion, they Miss Sevilla,
The professor.
Yeah, Professor Sevilla. She had I wouldn't say it was aggressively, but she was really persistent about the history of the levees and why they were built and stuff like that. What was like? I know you were going to respond, but you had your partners respond with you. So, but like, can you give us your intake of the history of the levees? And
Well, so levees were built by, many of them, by agricultural farmers years ago. So if you have someone that developed or had property that's in close proximity to the river or a creek channel, then they wanted to protect their agricultural property, their farmstead, whatever they had at the time. But over the years, those levees have been built upon taller and wider, and in some cases through the federal government initiatives with catastrophic events from flood events, certainly that they would come in. A lot of the embankment that was out there has been built upon over the years, and whether we have good records of the constituents of that soil, in many cases we're not sure what's there. So you have levees that have been constructed upon year after year, decade after decade. But again, it's for life safety, to protect those that are developing in the floodplain, and sometimes that attracts more and more people, and it's sometimes a false sense of security. When you have that infrastructure constructed, people feel as though they can build more and more, and there really is, as Mike mentioned, still that residual risk. Even though you have a levee system or a flood wall that performs exceptionally, you can still have issues with it overtopping and potential flood risk regardless of its performance.